welcome back to another episode of Greenlight. I'm your host, Jennifer Edwards. Thanks for tuning in. On the last episode, we chatted with Don Romero, and we talked a lot of different topics from sustainability to the innovation that's supporting the clean energy future. And this week, we have a special guest that will be joining us, and he actually helped kick the series off with us in the fall, and it's been a while since we've had him back, so we're glad to have him here today. But we're going to talk through, how Landis+Gyr is truly positioned to lead the clean energy future. So please join me in welcoming my friend and our leader, Prasanna Venkatesan. Hi, Prasanna. How are you doing today?
Hey, Jen. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm good. I know it has been a while. You kicked this off with us in the fall, and a lot has changed since then.
Yes, a lot has changed. Unfortunately, some tough times as well in 2020, but listen, there's some exciting times ahead of us. I'm glad we're into 2021 and really look forward to talking with you today.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and so much has changed. So new year, new administration, so much exciting news in the Landis+Gyr community that I want to dig into with you today. And the excitement around the organization is palpable. So we're going to dive right in and just talk about, so the first question for you is, as a leader and in your perspective, what does the future look like for Landis+Gyr?
Yeah, Jen, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of excitement at Landis+Gyr these days because of some of the changes that we've seen over the last few months in terms of the markets, the utilities, and the regulators that regulate this industry. Let me acknowledge first, 2020 was a very difficult year for us, right? I mean, it has been a long time since we've seen each other, seen our customers. It's been a tough year, and we're very excited to kind of get into 2021. I'm sort of excited about 21 because we first saw a big industry breakthrough happen in the November-December timeframe when the regulatory approvals were received in New York and New Jersey. And this was huge for the industry because it now puts forth a new momentum in the industry in terms of new AMI projects that would start in the Northeast, and we can't wait for the day that when those projects will get commissioned and in deployment. The second thing for us that happened was around key ecosystem partnerships that we announced. We started with Vodafone. That was very strategic for us from a cellular 5G point of view in terms of giving our customers flexibility and choice. But we also formed a very, very strategic, deep partnership with Google Cloud. It is a very strategic partnership in the energy side of business for Google. We're very excited about the things to come. There's a journey mapped out for the next, call it 1 to 3 years. Prior to that, we had an announcement with Cisco and our open interoperable standards with Wi-San. We're working very closely with that ecosystem of suppliers. So a lot of things are turning into a direction where we can hopefully see the market evolve after a 12-month of quiet period. I think specifically for us, this week also was a very good week, if I can just touch base on that. We had a big announcement with Evergy. If you recall, Evergy was our first customer in 1990 that we signed as a managed services customer. So that exciting journey continues to the year 2034. It'll be a 4-year agreement when we started this relationship. And I think we're all feeling it. We're not only feeling it in the employee base and also in the market. And you touched a bit about the new administration, if I can break that question down. And I think there will be a lot of discussion going forward in terms of how this infrastructure spending is going to impact the markets around us in a very positive way. There is no doubt in anybody's mind that in this country, especially with all the things that we experience with weather and all the other things that happens, we have to harden the infrastructure. So I see us participating in a lot of discussion at the state and at the federal level, discussing the merits of where the monies should be allocated. So some good news is pending, but the administration just started working. But we really expect that infrastructure spending to also really stimulate the economy and move forward and create jobs and bring everybody back. It's been a crazy year in 2020, and I'm looking forward to getting people back on their feet, get their lives back, our employees with their lives back, exciting times, and I look forward to it in 2021.
No, same here. It is, being on these front lines with what's going on, at least in our world at Landis+Gyr, it is truly exciting. I mean, we've been on this journey, which you just referenced, and that journey actually so we have that powerful past, and we have a strong future. So we are celebrating a milestone this year, right? We're hitting 125 years, which is incredibly rare for a company to reach 100 years, let alone 125 years. So what does this journey mean to you? What does that milestone mean to you? And how do you think we made it this far?
Yeah, great question, Janet. Thank you for teeing that up. So we as Landis+Gyr, we are very honored first to be alive for this long, so to speak. And I think a lot of it is due to the fact, Jen, it's about adaptability to change. It's changing with times. It's changing with technology. It's changing with market. A lot of things. They call it Industrial Revolution 4.0 coming up now. But all these things, Landis+Gyr has weathered through all these periods. We have stood the test of time through all these periods. Our people have been formidable. That is one big piece of our business. It's about our people and how they service their customers, a relentless focus on serving them and making sure that we solve their critical challenges throughout this journey that we've been in, and also changing with times. I think that's been a big theme over the last 125 years. Not to mention our diverse workforce, the fact that we operate in 30 plus countries, bringing all those experiences to solving critical challenges on the grid. So very exciting times for us in 2021. We'll be celebrating soon, hopefully in person.
I can't wait. Yes, that was such a fun time in Austin. Yes, and to hear how few companies make it that far, it is something huge that we should be celebrating, and I look forward to celebrating it in person as well.
Yep.
So
yep.
You touched on this journey again, and there's a historical journey where we've been serving utilities really essentially, when you think about it, since the beginning of electric generation and transmission, which is huge. And then that takes us to today. But we also have a technology journey that we've been on. And you mentioned that a little bit earlier when you mentioned some of the partnerships, but can you bring us to where we are today? What led to this moment, speaking to the technology journey, and what's your view on this journey?
Yep. Listen, let me, we started talking about the celebration of Evergy as our customer, 40 years. If I can kind of pivot on that, from a technology journey point of view, our mission has always been never to strand any assets that we put in the ground with our customers. So we went from AMR to AMI as a journey from the 90s to the 2000s. And at that time, we introduced our brand, which was Gridstream. We went to Gridstream Connect, the industry's first IoT platform, the largest platform, IoT platform in the world, with our installation in TEPCO with 30 million endpoints. And now we're taking the journey to the next level, taking the same platform, adding more standards around the YSUN standards platform, still providing an IoT solution for our customers. Then the whole transition to Google, the journey towards Google, the journey towards the cloud. I see us always transitioning from one phase to the other, and this is the key strength of Landis+Gyr. We are very adaptable. We're very entrepreneurial. We go through various technology changes as they come around in the market. We quickly adapt, innovate, and we co-innovate with companies like Google and the others that we work with. I strongly believe the next few years, as we go through these technology waves, it is very important for us to have a very strong partnership ecosystem that we have developed, especially with these big names. I'm very proud to be associated with these big names because they have so much to bring on their own to our table, as well as the stuff that we do on the grid. And you put these together, it creates a fantastic situation for us to work on partnerships where they become stronger, we become stronger, and then collectively we're solving customer challenges together. I see a lot of opportunities going forward, and I think these partnerships become very critical as we take the next journey into the next decade. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'm so excited about Google too. So we talk about innovation at Google speed, and that's really incredible. So from there, so how do you believe all of that? Because we've been on this journey together, right? I mean, when I came in, we introduced GridStream Connect, and that was the IoT platform. And then we said, you know what? Let's reimagine the meter as a grid sensor, and that's for Velo. And then we have all of the, this limitless potential to solve problems that we haven't even thought about with Google and data and all of that. So how do you think Landis+Gyr is uniquely positioned to lead the wave of transformation that you've been referencing?
From a pure where we sit on the technology curve, I look at our customer base, and I'm very excited about the fact that they want to now start adapting these technologies even faster. So number one, I see the rate of adoption of new technologies that's been introduced in the market over the last, call it 3 or 4 years. We'll see that being adopted even more strongly by our utility customers. I think one thing, even sitting where I sit at the company and look at how we've evolved over the last year in terms of the pandemic, and we do 1,000 people town hall seamlessly with no interruption over our systems these days. And I think people have evolved and changed, and technology has been a big success in the last 12 months, teaching us new ways to kind of improve our communication, improve the way we service our customers. So I strongly believe the rate of adoption will get stronger. The rate at which we solve customer challenges because of the edge computing that we do, that you just talked about with our Velo platform, the knowledge and information that we're going to get from our systems, and using our partners like Google, we're going to solve very critical challenges at the edge of the grid as well as inside the home. I think I'm really looking forward to taking that information, taking that data, and providing the key information that our customers need in order to solve the challenges that they face, not only at the grid in terms of reliability, in terms of power quality, and how they service their customers. So I think that's going to change. I also think that this is also going to provide them new business model challenges, right? So they'll probably innovate themselves and say, how do we now create new business models to service their consumers? So I see that as a revenue stream and a growth stream for our customers, and an opportunity for them to use our technology, our ecosystem that we're building on their behalf. And these are exciting times to look forward as we both engage in the next decade to solve some of the problems that we see today.
Yes, so you just led right into my next question, which is great. But so what are some of the things that our utility customers should be thinking about over the next, call it 10 to 15 years that you were just referencing?
Yeah, I think what our customers, there's some very critical challenges that we face today in terms of our infrastructure. With what just happened, even during the recent snowstorm, just shows that there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of how we harden our existing infrastructure. So I think fundamentally, our utility customers are going to spend a lot of investment in the grid, hardening the grid, making it more resilient to the things that we see every day. Because if you look at their fundamental mission, which is keep the lights on, I think that's an area that they will focus. The other area is providing quality of service and reliability of service, especially as they see more and more adoption of EVs. In the last, call it 3 months, you saw the wave of announcement on the side of EVs in terms of what General Motors is trying to do, what Ford is trying to do, what Tesla is trying to do. I think we are going definitely towards an era where EVs and PVs and battery storage are becoming a big part of our lives and a big part of the loads that the utilities will have to manage. So I think that's one challenge that they will face, and we have the technologies to support that through our Velo platform, through the advanced analytics that we provide, and this will all help towards making the grid more safer, more affordable, electricity being provided to the consumers around the banner of a very resilient grid. So I think that's where the focus will be.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, honestly, the electrification component and just the clean energy, I mean, the amount of mandates that are coming down, and just over 200 cities and territories in the U.S. have clean energy goals, you know, within the next, call it 5 to 10 years, which is incredible. So definitely a huge driver in what is going on. So PV, thank you so much. It is always such a pleasure to catch up with you. So I'm going to leave you with this last closing question, and you can make it personal or professional or both. But you know, what do you hope for 2021?
Yeah. Oh, great question, Jen. Listen, 2020 has been tough for all of us. Some of us had to go through some personal setbacks, professional setbacks. We saw small businesses suffer. You know, it's been tough for all of us. From my point of view, 2021, hopefully with all the vaccines that have been developed, getting into the marketplace, every one of us hopefully vaccinated, followed by summer. I just want to see the people of Landis+Gyr. I want to see my friends, and most importantly, I really want to see our customers. I mean, it's been a year since I visited them. I know it may not be possible even by fall of this year, but I think if we can march toward a goal of by the end of 2021, we get back to some level of normalcy that we used to have. I think big on my list is seeing my employees around the 16 managed services locations that we have, seeing our customers around the country and around the world.
Ditto. We all want to get together. You know, I mean, a handshake means so much today, right? You know?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Can't wait to get back to those days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, PV. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
You too. So thanks for joining us again for another episode of Greenlight. You can find more on all of our social media channels, so please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.